Welcome to another Silva Reviews. This time, Kezhi in chat requested the portfolio. How brave of her. How could she possibly, or he, sorry, I'm assuming right off the bat, possibly take my critiques today. So we're gonna begin. It's a portfolio review, not an art review. And she says, or he says, sorry, currently working on a hobby project. While I improve, looking to shift to like character environment. Wait, let me just make sure this is it's a little too bright. Alright, it's screwed up. Redo it. Currently working on a hobby project while I improve. Looking to shift like character/environment concept artist for more stylized games. Shardbound, gigantic, battle right. Towards the top on portfolio is more concept art focused. I would like the feedback on areas I could improve and just your general thoughts. Alright. Then let's begin. Blip. Turn off the music. Alright, Shardbound, gigantic, battle right. I'm very familiar with those. Let me give you. I actually have. Usually, I pre-review or I'll look on portfolios before starting a little bit. But first glance is that good news is that it looks. Everything looks leveled. You know, nothing really stands out as very old. I mean, there's a couple of things here and there that I'll tell you that you probably should remove. But the general sense of your portfolio, you can tell that there's an evolution of, you know, these are your older work, and then you definitely got better. Heaps better. Oh, this is great. Oh, this is great. I'll even follow you. Let me look. Okay, so you're doing many things right. And it's something that I always harp on these portfolio reviews, is the fact that you are doing a lot. You're truly concepting a character, which is you're exploring her expressions, you're exploring her movesets, which is great for what you want to achieve. These look fucking cool. I love these. You're exploring the silhouettes and designs, and I think these are even... Oh, these are just complete different character designs, so that's great. You're showing everything right. So this is a really strong first look. As far as your character design goes, which is that's usually the main thing to consider in this in the type of games you want to go for. I saw it. Not all the images have variations like this. Okay, I mean I'll go through and oh, I see. Okay, so we'll get to the rest. Let's take this character as an example. I feel like the design is good. I'm trying to see what can I say that it's not nitpicking, because you're doing very well in my opinion, at least based on the first sets of images in your portfolio. You are choosing, like, you have really big shapes for the main weapons, which, you know, tells a lot about the character and the silhouette. I feel like you're halfway there. And what I mean by that is that you have a really good base for the character. And I know that the games you mentioned you're aiming for, they need to be more simple and maybe have less detail, but I would definitely recommend looking at especially Battle Right. But I feel actually both Battle Right and gigantic, they do it very well. Where your big and medium shapes are strong, but your some of the medium and mostly smaller shapes could unify the character some more. I'd like to also see maybe on the design. I can tell where the character is from. That's great, but some of the character design could have a bit more functionality that relates to the character's weapons, because right now the way it's reading is that this character is this weapon. Is these weapons, which is a good thing, and you want to echo that more into her design. So I don't know if you're going for some kind of a dancer kind of look to her. You could mix maybe especially based on the skills I'm seeing here. You could go more heavily on the dancing theme. Let me look around here as well. Also, I feel like the assassin kind of, like some of the combat you're showing here seem to be quite like speed, related stuff. So that should reflect on her design too. I do like the little prints. I think those are nice. Imply something more about the character that relates to what she, when we look at the character, we need to kind of, just based on the look, we can kind of guess what she would do, and that is the principal idea on designing a character. Not only her personality and the character of the character, but also very fast consider, this looks like an assassin type of character. Oh, this looks like a mage. This looks like, you got to play around with that some more. And I feel like your medium, maybe it's smaller shapes in this character could help you with that. I'm gonna go through. I really, really like this one. I think it's my favorite out of your portfolio. You're doing many things right. I can tell, like, it's so clear what you are going for this character that there's no guessing. I can only really say good job. I do feel like maybe some of this exploration, he looks a little too nice or too timid, and here he looks like strong and like he would be a king or someone who commands the little guy. I don't know if that is the case or if he goes from this to that. If that is the case, then I see that the exploration sketches here are for the little guy. Or yeah. So this one is like, you did many things right. The only thing that could be improved is your tone on tone values. So what I mean is that everything design wise is great. I absolutely love it. It's just that the coloring of it, you could separate some of the main elements some more. You know how you did the stone versus coat? Like, you're going in a really, really good direction. I just feel like you need a bit more, a little bit more of a push, because it's a bit too simple. Normally these games request a little bit more from the artists, or especially in terms of design. So you could benefit again from some medium to smaller shapes, and also again the division between bigger shapes and smaller shapes. You can use value and color to separate them some more, especially things like dangerous areas. Like maybe this guy, I could see him do melee. He's mainly a caster or commands this little guy, but he obviously should show that he can protect himself with this big boulder fucking arm thing. They are awesome. And you could maybe make these a different color or a combination of that to show that you know, this is dangerous. The arms are kind of dangerous, you know. Maybe you can pick a different color to dictate that. I'm just throwing ideas out, but you could have the arms and the head be like the same sort of color composition, so that it creates sort of like a triangular focus thing. So, you know, head is always going to be the primary focus, and then the arms for this character specific. I mean, you're doing many things right. Again, at least with these two posts, I did see that there's other. Oh, you did. Oh, this is for Project 7 upcoming action MOBA by Timepiece Games. This is an actual work. So good job. I feel like this character might be a bit more towards like you're using. Yeah, I think you need to practice a bit more your medium to small shapes. I think that's where you're. This design would work really well for mobile. Just to let you know. However, for PC, which has a higher resolution, etc., it needs more. It's a very good base. I really like the character design that you have going on. And I'm not gonna say anything about render, etc., because it doesn't really matter, because you're mainly a concept artist. I do feel like some of these shapes, like you have really sharp shapes here, but then everything else is sort of like rounded up. You need to be careful with that. I'd like to see what you've done for the other ones, for this one too. It's just so nice to see all of this. These are some map mood boards, or mood production design for. I wouldn't call this production design. First of all, I don't know how is the. This is more a pre-production, like a visual, like VizDev map thing, because you're not I mean, no, okay, I'm wrong. I'm an idiot. I didn't know there was more under. So it is production design, because now you're showing how the maps are actually made. The only thing missing from these maps is the flow of how you should show with arrows, the flow of where the characters would walk. I can see that you are separating elements, and that could be an indication of the flow of the map. But it would be very, very nice to show where could the characters go to, like some arrows mimicking like a player movement or so. You would benefit a lot from that. These ones on the top. Okay, so here's the thing. As far as organization on your portfolio, I would maybe, if you did tests, or if you've done a map design for where this image would be, then right under it I would post these ones, or I would post the schematics for the actual map. Right now it feels a bit random, because I don't know what is related to what. As someone who's looking here, I'd like to see how are these connecting to this one. I can see that the theme is sort of the same, but if you're painting an actual location on a map, and then you have the design for it, I'd like to see it like the pretty VizDev, painting, and then underneath the schematic for it, and then every image be like that one. Pretty painting, then schematic. Pretty painting, some schematic. Like one more, right? Gotcha. All right. Production designs. Yeah, same for this one. Your portfolio is really strong. I think you should have the schematics first. Absolutely. If you are gonna do one of the others, these will give you more work than the pretty paintings, for example. And here is gonna be the same. Like, I really, really like this stuff. It's just super cool to me. And I would hire you just based on that. And here's some more. Oh, these ones have no schematics. World building. Okay, so these are like just visual development tests. That's cool. Let me actually critique that a bit. I feel like you're doing too many close shots. This one is a good example of what to do. This one looks the most interesting to me. It's sort of like, it's not a far shot, it's like a medium kind of shot. Where we're inside of this dome with these kind of shapes, and we see something there. I feel like you're hiding a little too much in these designs where, for example, even here, there's a bunch of rocks and then maybe something interesting in there, but I feel like it's too hidden. I'd like to see more. This first one, the horn is in an awkward place. It's just, it would be better without it, or I would move it somewhere else. Maybe I would move it even maybe behind this giant place. There's a giant horn, there's something like that, but or maybe I would just have half of it. Again, these are a medium. All of these are pretty much medium to close shots, and I would change that. Yeah. Yeah, same goes here. As your colors, be careful, especially if you're doing map design or map, visual development. What you're doing something good, which is the main focal point is the most saturated, but I feel like sometimes you go to like neon levels and that makes it trippy looking, in my opinion. You go too hard in it. So instead what you need to do, or what I would advise you to do, is to have everything overall sort of like a halfway saturation to halfway or below saturation, so that the moment you saturate something a bit more, it really pops. Instead of having everything generally quite saturated, and then you really need to go to extremes to saturate the focal point. So, and that's something I wouldn't recommend you do. These older characters, I know what I said, but I probably would remove them. This one still holds up. It's kind of nice to see. But yeah, your first set of characters are really strong. Your first set of posts, like, do a lot more of that, and I would remove most of these. Like, this is weakening your portfolio. Like this image right here. I mean, the drawings are great. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like you have good fundamental drawings. Your rendering needs just a little bit of work, but it's not too much. Your gesture needs focus. As far as fundamentals go, you really should put focus in your gestures. Oh, here's an illustration. Action card. Nice. But I can tell, I feel like your heart is in design. Like, or your strength, rather. Maybe not your heart. I don't know you that well. But in most all of these, the gesture is a bit, like, it needs quite a bit of work. These aren't bad at all, but I do feel they're a lot weaker than your initial posts. On a judging you by a thumbnail, oh, it's L. Judging you by a thumbnail, maybe not so much, because maybe because it's your art style. These actually read really well small, which is a great thing, because most of what you're doing will be seen at a small scale. But like, these ones are so nice that pales everything in comparison. So I'm even gonna like this one because I like it so much. So that concludes this portfolio review. It's a rather short one because you're doing so many things right. You just need to do more of it and remove, like, images. So design is fun. Yeah, I mean, I think you're gonna be, like, amazing. I mean, you are really good already, but I think you can, like, really pull it. So keep going, keep practicing. I would focus on gesture for sure, and everything else that I mentioned so far. I'm not gonna repeat them, but yeah. Wait, hold on. So where's my sound? Oh. Thank you again. See you guys on the next portfolio review. Hope you learned something. Bye-bye.